I don't do a lot of that, but my partner likes to watch the like the superhero comic book TV series kind of things. Do you know do you know the characters like the Flash and the Arrow, and do you know the Marvel comic book characters? Do you know
Yes,
those?
yes, yes. I know
Oh,
that something like this.
oh, okay.
My
There.
children, what they are watching, Gravity Force
Okay.
or
Okay. I have
Simpsons. No idea. I know.
I have no
Oh,
idea what that
but
is, but
Simpsons, the
Simpsons.
Simpsons,
Okay. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
something like
That
that.
was my era. Okay.
Okay, so we know Netflix, as I mentioned last
Yeah.
week,
Hmm.
and they are happy. Mostly Adam, the older, because he can watch his Gravity Falls or another. It's a season, Lost in Space.
Oh, Lost
It's
in
not.
Space. Lost in Space is great.
Yes, my son
That's-
thinks the same. He's phew. Yes, so he's watching now in English and he's happy. Yes, so
you know what I think as parents we have to understand that what is interesting for children is different than what is interesting for us, and
mhm.
yeah, we have to monitor it a little bit because the world is crazy, and we want a certain level of intelligence in our children. So uh, we have to monitor it, but th- I think that we we have to give children freedom to have certain experiences, both positive and negative, about certain things. So there are things that personally I don't really want my kids to watch, but I allow it because I believe that I don't know everything about what's right for them. So um, sometimes I give them freedom with that, but I watched the Lost in Space series on Netflix. In fact, I watched it in 1 week. I watched the whole series in one
Oh,
week because I'm obsessive compulsive, which means if I like something, I want to know everything about it.
mhm.
Like I have to know everything. Um, like if there's a music group that I like, I have to know everything about the group. I have to know everything about all the people and the history and the background, and I have to know
Mhm.
everything. And so I my son likes science fiction, so I downloaded the series and we watched it in 1 week, everything, because it was so entertaining and exciting, and it was an experience that we could share together and talk about the actors and the characters and what
Mhm.
happened yesterday and what will happen next,
Mhm.
and so and also it's like I said, not just watching to watch, but watching to respect and appreciate the art that is there, the the acting, the scripting, the cinematography, the special effects, the time and the effort and the energy and the
Mhm.
finance and the resources and everything that goes into making something visually amazing, because it's not easy
Mhm.
to it's not easy to do that, and respecting the fact that the people involved, the writers, the directors, the cameraman, the actors, the makeup artists, respecting the fact that they all make lots of money doing that,
Yes, yes.
and the the set design, the spaceships, the attention to detail, the clothing, the uniforms,
Mhm.
um, all those all those things. And it's strange that you mentioned Lost in Space, because it's strange because I don't watch many of these series, but that's one that I did watch, because because when I was a kid, when I was 13, 14, 15, the original Lost in Space series, it was originally a TV series from the 1950s. I watched that when I was a kid. I watched that, and so in my head I can compare the present, the new version, and the old version, and the old version was like original TV. It was family value TV. It was about a family and their relationships. It was about a husband and a wife and a son and a daughter, and about how they connected and how they communicated with each other. And it doesn't matter where you are as a family, you are a family. It doesn't matter if you're on Earth or in space or wherever you are. And the communication is important. The dynamics is very important. So for me it was like an upgrade of what I had when I was a kid. And so it was. And one other little thing. I'll tell you one other little thing. Right, this tiny little thing, but it's important. I downloaded the series, and before I let my children watch something, I watch it myself. Just because that's logical.
To be sure.
Yeah.
To be sure there is nothing wrong, or?
Well, to be sure that there's not too much, I don't know, violence or sex or negative messages, because I like to hold what I call Christian values.
Control.
Well, it's not control. It's Christian values. It's a level of moral and ethics. Yeah, and I don't want my kids watching something that promotes I don't know, like the homosexual culture, for example, right? Look, I'm an open person. The world is a free place. Do what you want. I don't care. But I don't want my young kids thinking that this is the best thing for them, right? So later in life they can make the choices they want to make. That's okay, but the start is up to me. What happens later is up to them.
Yes, of course.
Right.
One thing I do every time, not every time, but on every device we have, or in I make settings in control of parents on parental control for kids, so they cannot see everything. I know also people, they have children and they tell me, no, I do nothing against this situations. They leave children to watch what they want. They don't care, or they are not thinking about it. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a great point. A lot of parents are not thinking about it. Yeah, that's true. It's a mistake to think that people are thinking, right? Right. They're very often not thinking about it, and it's better. It's always better to think about it than not think about it, right? It's always better. It doesn't mean you make the right decisions, but it's always better to think about it than not think about it. And there is a positive and negative side to the internet, and I think that it is what you make it yourself. If you want it to be positive, it will be positive. If you want it to be negative, it will be negative. It's a tool like anything. It's like a knife, right? You can use a knife to, eat your food, or you can
Cut,
use a
yes,
knife to kill somebody,
or
right?
someone. Mm-hmm.
So I think that a car can get you from A to B. A car can also be used as a terrorist weapon if you if you want, right?
Yes.
So people use things for whatever it is that they want to use them for, and I think I think some level of control is very good, and yet at the same time, if we go back to what I said earlier about children learn from what we do, not from what we say. So if we explain to children that that this is good and this is bad, they don't learn as much from if they make the choice themselves whether or not something is good or something is bad, or they make the choice together with other people that something is good and something is bad. And so if we dictate everything to our kids, then our kids only learn that other people know best,
Mm-hmm.
which also has a potential negative effect because
Yes.
because, because other people don't always know know best what is right, and we have to believe that the next generation is going to be better than the previous generation, or there's no point living, right? We have to believe that the next generation is going to be bigger, faster, fitter, stronger, more intellectual, more intelligent. Um, they're going to be better than us at some things, and maybe not as good at other things. But I think the reason for living, for doing things, for studying, for having a business is to make things better. And so we have to give some freedom to children to make choices and to make the wrong choices.